When I read a script, I just look at it for the story. What is the story? I truly don't think about the visual at all. I'll get ideas, obviously, like you can't help but get ideas, but you just put those in your pocket, you hold on to them, and if the director seems to be going that way, then you can pull them out like you were just coming up with them and seem really brilliant, even though that's you've been holding on that idea for weeks, you know. So you have to look at the conditions. I try to understand, first of all, what's the mood that we're going for, light for mood, and then light for the location, and then light the actors. And if I have any more time, I try to highlight and get special, you know. But I mean, to decide it, I mean, to decide how you're going to do the photography on a movie literally comes out of the conversation. It has to come out of the conversation with the director, and listening to the director talk to the actors and talking with your production designer. That's where the look gets created. It's all a theory thing. And then when you show up, you kind of just, you're bombarded with all this theory, and when you show up, you try to get as much of that theory in as you can in your 40 minutes. What I'd like to think at this point, what I can say that I'm going to try and do, is whoever's being false in the scene, I'm going to try and put them in false tungsten light. And whoever's being honest in the scene, or whoever's having to face the truth, is probably going to be in the white daylight. It's probably the one little thing that I can say I've decided that I would like to do in the movie. I love the fantasy sequences. I absolutely do, and I mean, because there's no better visual, because I'm a visual storyteller, there's no better visual storytelling than, like, you know, than doing something like that. I mean, the script has physical representations, like the imagery is just so huge. I mean, it's got in the original draft that I read, had like an egg coming out of his mouth out of nowhere, and like what that's saying and why, and you know what I mean, and like the fact that she's running off a dock and she bursts into birds, like you don't get that kind of stuff often that actually is within the same vein of the story that's being told. A lot of times it's very out of nowhere. It's very, you know, David Lynch, or it's very, I mean, all of a sudden it's the clown flipping the pancake in the corner, and it's like, what does that have to do with anything? The great thing about this story is that those flights of fancy, those dream sequences they're very rooted in the characters, and where it should be, you know, some directors would go minimal with it, and other directors would put it in the dialogue, or you know what I mean. However, I've never seen that. Okay, well, we're literally just gonna. It's not that I've never seen, but in this script, that's what attracted me to it. Is the way that we're gonna represent this emotion through this completely artistic visual interpretation. We're not gonna do it in a script, which is always done, and we're not gonna do it through a simple emotion, which is always done. We're literally going to break reality and show it to you in this way. And that's stimulating for somebody like me. Like, it's not every day that somebody's like, we're gonna have this girl jump off a dock and turn into 30 birds. It's not, you know, no one comes up to you and says that, really. I mean, you don't read that often in a script. And my big thing for this movie is that I really like everybody involved. I think we're gonna go have a great time, and I think these are really creative, people, and the fact that the scout went so well was just kind of like, yeah, this is going to be a really great experience. We're gonna have a great time making this, and when it's all said and done, I have a real good feeling I'm gonna be very proud of this. Because you're not proud of all of them. You're not. I mean, you're just not. There's too much out of your hands. You can't control it enough to be proud of it. So after a while, you have to either grow skin that says, I don't care if it's good or enough, but then people are like, you don't care, and it's like, that's not the point. I'm just protecting myself. But, you know, this I think is a project that I can feel free to care for, because I feel like I will be respected and listened to all the way through, and I will respect and listen to everybody on this crew all the way through. And I just think we're all going to have a fantastic time doing it. I think if I didn't think I was going to have a fantastic time, there's no way that I would be doing this, you know? So I'm just looking forward to having a really great storytelling experience with these people, for sure.